Peace, peace. What's going on? I am Johnny Prince. Let me make sure this is down right here. What's going on, y'all? I am Johnny Prince, and you are now tuned in to the Be Clear Alert podcast. I am happy. Let me turn this down here so y'all can see me clear. I'm happy that you are here with me. Listen, thank y'all for the I have been just so overwhelmed with all the love and support that everybody's been showing me. Everybody's been tuning in and. Man, I thank y'all so much. This is super dope. This is my baby here. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to, make sure I shed light on the entrepreneur and the artist, and just to find out who they are. That's the mission of Be Clear Alert podcast, because I need you to be very very clear. You know what I mean? And the people that I bring on, it's to be very clear, the significance of them personally and who they are and what they're presenting and what they're bringing, to the world. So I am excited to bring you Be Clear Alert podcast. Thank y'all so much. This is my fourth show so far, and it's been super dope, super great, lots of love. People tuning in, people sharing. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow me everywhere. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Be Clear Alert Podcast. I am also on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Play. So you could definitely hear this back on those streaming platforms. So that is super dope. Oh, and if you're interested, if you're an entrepreneur or if you're an artist and you're interested to bring it on, you could just email me at info@beclearalert.com. That's info@beclearalert.com. I'll put that in the description. But make sure you follow me. It's been a great new year for me so far. I am loving it. I am loving the new year. I'm glad that we're over 2023. We here now, and we're gonna make the best of this, and we're gonna become greater and super dope humans, man. We're gonna grow. This is the year of growth. This is the year of change. You know what I mean? And I definitely implore you, inspire y'all to do that. It was last couple years was really really tough. It was really really tough, and we we're making the best of it. You know what I mean? I think this year right here, we learned a lot. We learned so much over the last couple years. And last year went by, like we saw last year go by. That's why I was so fat. Like we saw it go by so quickly. Like I remember when it was the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? But I'm glad it's over. We in New Year, and we're gonna be some grand folks, y'all. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it going. Super dope brother I got on today. Dear beloved friend of mine, excuse me, met a couple years back. And this dude here is ever since we met, it's been nothing but love, nothing but support. Good dude, great humble dude. Stand on everything positive, man. Good dude, good family man, and it's a great dude to work with. You know what I mean? And he goes by the name of Mr. Outley. You know what I mean? AKA Mr. What Up Though. and I can't wait to bring him on, man. I'm gonna read his bio right quick. Dope dude, man. I can't wait to get him on, y'all. All right, Harold Outley is an incredible, talented actor with more than 10 years of experience. He has also entertained audiences as James Rock in Men Pray Too by Jodrell Benjamin. Tommy in The Boy with No Voice by Tina Bridges. Shout out to Tina Bridges. What's going on? And Bill in for Colored Girls by Mika Nicole. Shout out to Mika too. What's going on? Harold have received training from a variety of entities: the People's Acting and Etiquette Class, Actors Boot Camp Workshop, and Acting Out Studios, which assisted in landing numerous roles in theater and film. Mr. Outley has continued to test his talents, mostly recently in voiceover work, by taking on the narrator role for the audiobook Bittersweet by Ella Christina. Also reprising the Khalil character in the series What Do You Want to Eat for Lunch by Tina Bridges. She is working. I got to get on. While taking on roles that are challenging, he has worked diligently at honoring his craft and utilizing all the tools acquired over the years. Mr. Outley is an award winning poet with over 20 years under his belt. Let's be very, very clear on that. Spoken word is his thing. You feel me? We're going to get into that. He also plays a tuba. We didn't know. We didn't know. We're going to get into that too. Enjoys working out and has an intense passion for cooking and singing karaoke. He looks forward to showcasing his acting and his poetry skills as well in major productions like Inside Man in the upcoming years. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me bring in my brother from another mother, Mr. Outley. What's going on, bro?
Man,
Can you hear me? There we go. Can you
I
hear?
I can.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
How you feel? Yeah. What up, though, man? Yo, let me add. He is you originally from Detroit, correct?
Yeah, I'm from the
Oh,
deep
re-
west side of Detroit to be exact,
let's
Dexter Davis.
see. Let's be clear on that. West side of
Yes,
Detroit. All right, not the east,
yeah,
not the west side. All right, you know what I
west
mean. Where
side.
where he don't play. That's what it is, man. How you doing, sir? You good? How was your holidays?
Hey, you know what, man? I am extremely blessed that the holidays went by fast, but
Yeah.
it was good. It was
Hmm.
great. I have absolutely no complaints.
That's what's
My
up.
house is back to normal now.
Okay. Yeah, I can only imagine. You know what I mean, it was a bit holidayish.
To say the least,
They
man.
said that's what's up,
Yeah,
man. Hey, man. So I'm glad you're on. I'm glad to be here, man. One of the
man, I
things,
appreciate you having me on.
yeah, no doubt, man. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad, you know what I mean, to have you here, man. You know what I mean? Because every time we link up, every time it's like this, it's all love, man. It's all love,
For
man. You
sure.
know what I mean? And I appreciate that, man. You know, show nothing but love over there and support too, man. So I'm glad, bro. I'm glad, man. But I want to get into you and get into who is Mr. Outley? Who is Harold Outley? Tell the people who is Mr. Outley.
Well, Harold Outley and Mr. Outley are kind of two different people, to
Okay,
a
well, break it
certain
down. Break it down.
So Mr. Outley is the performer that's on stage when it's time to do the poetry and
Hmm.
create those visuals. The Harold Outley is that dude from the west side of Detroit.
Okay.
I love where I come from. My parents, brother, sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just you there's no one way to describe
Hmm.
Harold. There's a lot of different adjectives I'm sure people will use. But if I had to choose one,
Hmm.
just somebody who's genuine, grateful,
Yeah.
and humble, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
confident. Like, I know what I know, but there's a sense of humility that I have. So
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
a cool dude, man. I be chilling.
Yeah, you be
I don't
chilling.
want to smoke. I
I,
don't want
I
no
I've
smoke.
never known you to be crazy and wilding out. I've always known you to be like real chill, real low key. Like, oh, Mr. Outley is in here. I didn't even see him. I didn't even notice he was in. Like real quiet type dude. You know what I mean? You know, the only time you make your presence known is like when you on that stage right there when you doing your thing. It's like, there you go right there.
Hey, I am supremely chill, but it wasn't always like that. That's the west side of Detroit part. Okay, that's
Yeah,
the west side of Detroit. But through growth and evolution, I'm
yeah,
a grown man now, so I
yeah.
like to be chill. Like the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room.
That's
So
right.
I kind of like to be somewhere in between, but I'm always kind of off in the cut. I like to watch. I like to
Yeah,
see what's going on. I
yeah,
don't need
yeah.
that. I don't need the attention.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about young Harold Outley. Like how was young who was that? How was he growing up? We know 10-year-old, 15-year-old kid growing up in the dig, you know what I mean? Who was that kid?
Man, at that age range, single parent, living in the hood, my
Hmm.
love was music. I
Hmm.
played in the band. I played the tuba from fifth grade to senior year of high school, like all through high school.
Wow.
So it was music, it was track. Of course, you found stuff to get into. When your mama ain't around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it was, you know, running with crowds that I may have.
Yeah.
We stuff that we all did during that
Yep.
age.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was sometimes angry. You know what I'm saying? I needed
Mm.
guidance. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, but I got a strong mama, man. My
Yeah.
mama was strong, especially back then.
Mm.
She didn't play any games, so I had a praying mama, still do.
Mm. Mm. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up,
yeah.
man. That's what's up. When we met, you were doing, you were a poet. I met you as a poet. Um,
Hmm.
and I know you said that music is your love. Poetry, was that always your thing? You know what I mean, or is that something you've grown to love?
I think it started out as me writing. Like I remember being 10 years old,
Hmm.
writing my very first story, and then at 18 years old,
Hmm.
I wrote what I thought was a rap because I guess I thought I was a rapper, but I
Uh huh.
really wasn't a rapper. But it really began then around 18.
Hmm.
I'm reading the stories, trying to learn words, but it was just writing. And it wasn't until I was 18, it wasn't until I was about 25
Hmm.
I got on stage for the first time. Like I had wrote a bunch of stuff and I still got all these papers, wrote a bunch of stuff, but it wasn't
Oh wow.
until I was about 25 where I got the courage and nerve to get on the microphone for the very first time.
Wow.
Now, un, unlike there might be poets out here that may lie and say when they got up there they was fired for the first time. No, B, I was not fired the first time. I got laughed at.
Wow.
Listen, it wasn't a bunch of claps. I just
Wow.
wanted to get through it. So it wasn't until I was 25 where I got on stage, and after that experience, it took me a while to get back on there because it crushed my confidence, to say
Wow.
the least. Oh yeah,
Wow.
oh,
Wow. So
yeah.
that very first time you hit the stage, they laughed at you and like, it was a crazy experience for you.
It was a crazy experience. Like I got through it. No, you heard in
Mm.
the poetry scene in Detroit, it wasn't extremely huge, but some people go clap and do the finger snaps just to support. But I heard the laughter. I heard the hecklers in the back. So
Mm.
I never went back there. I went home and wrote a diss poem.
Oh, for real?
I wrote a diss poem. Yes, I did. I
Wow.
wrote a diss poem, but I didn't go back for like another 2 years or so.
So you so
Because
you've been so you was so you didn't perform after that for 2 years.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because
Yeah.
apparently I had a lot, to learn. I don't know if it was the content or maybe I didn't. Maybe I was fumbling my words. Like I knew it by heart. That
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
I knew. But maybe what I was doing or my style of poetry, it wasn't receptive, to that crowd. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I remember the host. His name was Sparrow. He had dreads and seashells around his neck and wrist. It was like I was supposed to be Professor X or somebody. Like, so I don't
Wow.
know. Maybe it was me, but it took me about 2 years to get the courage to go back.
Okay. So do you
And I
remember
think,
go? Do you remember going when you went back? How did that
yeah,
feel? How did that turn out?
I didn't get booed. I got through it, and I got some hand claps. But by that time, the people who were there 2 years ago, I'm sure it wasn't nobody in that crowd. But I
Mm.
didn't. I did that for me, for my own sanity and confidence.
Mm. And you got
Yeah,
through it. Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
yeah. I
Could
got.
you imagine? Um, you know, there's people that experienced that and then didn't make it through. They just threw it away, and it's crazy that
Yeah,
and
man.
I know it's hard, and I know it's hard, man. They got to get through that, man. But I'm glad you did because you are this renowned, this super dope poet that like every time you hit that stage, it's like, oh snap. I've saw you do some poems, bruh, that had the crowd like, what did he say? What? What? Did he say that? Oh, like yo, few years back we did your album release. What's the name of the
Yeah,
album?
yeah. Words Spoken by Mr. Outley, Volume One. Still
Yes.
streaming on all digital platforms. By the
Yes.
way, wherever
Yes.
you get your music, you can go and find it.
Super
Shameless plug.
dope. It's so good. We gonna put that all out there. But yeah, that album is super dope. And even knowing that piece there, amazing pieces, man. And here you are, all this time later, doing your thing well over 20 years. Do you ever, when you hit that stage, do you ever still get like nervous or ever be nervous? Or it's like it's natural to you now?
No, man. Every single time.
You get nervous?
Every single time, whether I'm booked to perform or whether I'm doing an open mic, those nerves, like it's still my guts. It feel like my heart about to bust out my chest. I don't
Wow.
want nobody talking to me. I gotta go off somewhere. I gotta pray. I gotta have me some water.
Yeah.
The process is the process.
Yeah.
And no matter what kind of crowd I'm in front of, I've been in front of super large crowds. I've been in a room with like 8 people, and nervousness is still the same. That's
Mm.
because I care. Because the day you stop being nervous is the day you need to stop.
Come
Because
on
you
now.
don't care about it no more. You
Come
just
on
going
now.
out there to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a definitely indicator that you don't need to do it no more. Because I know every time I get up in front of a crowd, I still get nervous, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of a
But
seat.
then, yeah. And then what happens is all that nervous energy that I have,
Hmm.
I bring it all on the stage and
Yeah.
I channel that energy. So
Yeah.
by the time I'm done, I'm going right to my seat and I sit down and I just gotta take a few deep breaths
Yeah.
because unless you do it, you're not gonna understand how much energy it takes, especially if you really trying to tell a story
Hmm.
and have people pay attention to you in this day and age where everybody doing this. So
Yeah.
that's part of that
Yeah. Yeah.
nervousness. Are they gonna listen? Are they gonna be on their phone? Because some people doing this and people doing this is different.
Hmm.
Because if
Hmm.
they doing this, they not listening. But if they hold it up, they actually recording and they like what they're hearing. So I
Right.
put all that energy on the stage.
No doubt. Is there a ritual you do before you get on?
Oh, I find a corner.
Hmm.
I'll go into a bathroom. Like if I know I'm next,
Hmm.
I gotta find a way to get away from people.
Okay.
I always pray. I drink some water, and I take a deep breath. And as the host, whoever the person is calling my name, I just kind of hold my head down and have my eyes closed. Like it's almost like a how my man used to say, it's like a boxer going to a ring. So when my name
Mm.
is called and those seconds, my seat and getting to the stage, it's like a boxer going into the ring. Now I'm ready now. The
Oh,
nervousness
okay.
is still there, but now it's time to box. Shout
Oh,
out to
okay.
Franklin speaking. He put that in my brain some years ago. Yeah, I
Wow.
got that from
Wow.
him.
That is super dope.
Oh yeah, man. It's almost like I'm seeing myself
Hmm.
like on stage, like
Yeah.
how I want to move.
Hmm.
Think about how I'm gonna deliver the poem differently than I did the last time. How am I gonna, making sure that I'm scanning the audience. I want to maintain eye contact. I usually look at the people, try to see who out in the front. Like depending
Hmm.
on what I'm gonna say, I'm making a point. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So between them calling my name and my way up to that stage, I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
By the time we get up there, it go by so fast.
Wow. Wow.
It go by so fast.
Let's talk about the experience. Like, how do you? What is it that you feel when you going through it? Like when you on stage performing, is it what I mean? Like, is it joy? Is it? I guess it depends on the piece.
It does because different pieces call for different types of energy. So if
Mm.
I'm say I'm my subject matter is sexy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making sure, even the way I move, the inflection in my tone, the
Mm-hmm.
way I manipulate my voice
Yeah.
with certain words. No, I'm trying. It's gonna be a little more chill. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's something where it's a lot of detail, moving around, I'm like, I may talk to the fellas like it's you're performing just
Yeah.
because it's poetry.
Yeah.
Unlike you still performing, so
Yeah.
people still are engaged. You can't just stand up behind the microphone and like you reading words.
Yeah.
It's still performing. It's
Right.
spoken
Right.
word, but it's performing.
Right, right. And performing is something you understood the importance of it because it adds on to it kind of helps with the actual what you're saying. You know what I mean, to give the words the feeling. You know what I mean, to make it relatable by how you performing it instead of just on a on stage and just reading it from a phone. It's you actually memorizing it, taking the time to perform it so that people can be like, God damn. And I'm sure like over the
And
years you've gotten that type of response. I've seen it, with my own two eyes. Like, wow.
as far as the performing aspect of it, something that I still do to this day, I I watch YouTube videos of
Mm-hmm.
old school R&B groups and male singers
Mm.
because I'm watching how they connect with the crowd. Like I'll,
Wow.
the Temptation, they move around a lot.
Right.
Teddy Pendergrass, Vandross will stand behind that mic
Yeah.
and they'll deliver it, but you still get that feeling.
Yeah.
So all these artists, I'm learning. That's how I learned stage presence and performing from watching them. It don't matter because I'm not singing, but you can still do it, and it helps. I'm a rather tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
I use all of that. I use
Yeah.
all of that.
Yo, it's crazy
Yeah.
how you put it all together because as you said, as you were young, music was your love, and as you got older, you understood. Hey, you know what? Let me do some studying on how to perform. Because it's more than just reading words. You know what I mean? You like you said, you're performing. So for that to happen, I have to study. That is smart. For you to study, all R&B groups. The people that you just named,
Mhm.
that is genius for you to do that, to study that and understand different ways of delivering your words. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. And now I get it now. Yo, I get it
Man,
now.
listen, it's even, even to the way that I dress.
Hmm.
Particularly, if it's an event where I'm booked to perform, everybody know I wear ascots. So I always tell
Yeah.
people they see you before they
Before they
hear
hear
you.
you. That's right.
So you got to at least look the part. So again,
Yeah.
I'm seeing these groups back in the day, and everybody clean. So when I come on stage, they like, hold up. First of all, this dude got on the ascot. What he about to say? Hold on. Let's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you already got it. And the first thing I say when I come on stage is, "What up, though?"
Yeah. Yo.
And they like, and if they don't say "What up, though," I'm gonna be like, you know what? We gonna try this again. What up, though? And the whole crowd says it. This is all a part of it because I'm trying to get them again. They ain't
Yeah.
heard me say no poems.
Hmm.
They see me. Now I got your attention. Now you like, all right. The girls is like, oh, he kind of cute. The dudes is like, all right, we gonna see what's up with homie. That's it happens on.
Yo, and I'm
Yeah.
tell you something. Any dude with an ascot on that's about to go ahead and do his thing, he gonna do his thing pretty much, man. And I don't see too many dudes rocking that too. You know what I'm saying? And every time I see you come through with that, oh man, it's like, oh snap, yeah, it's about to be oh
About to be
man.
trouble.
Talk about, and I'm sure because I've seen the responses from the crowd to your work. Is that has there one that has stood out? That has that one that was like, man, I've been going through this, and you've been, you really brought my spirits up. Has that ever happened to you?
There are a couple pieces that when I do them, the crowd there's a gasp, or people be like, "Oh shit," and it get quiet, and they don't even know if they want to clap or not. But
Mm.
then it's but but that's because of the way I ended it.
Yeah.
But then there's some, you get that 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 reaction from the crowd. You be like, you know what, I did my thing tonight. So there are that bring out different emotions. I remember doing a poem, and I remember going to the bathroom afterwards, and the guy was like, "Yo, I appreciate that what you did. You set me up nice. Me and my wife finna leave
That's what's
because
up.
I said something that got to her, and she was like, "Babe, let's go home." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"I have done my job."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You reach at least
yeah,
one. That's what's
yeah.
up, man. That is what's up. Again, I've seen you in action. I've seen the crowd respond, and amazing, bro. So, after a while, you took an interest. Well, I don't know. When did you take an interest in acting?
I gotta be honest. The acting chose me because young lady, Meek and Nicole, rest in peace. I was doing a poem. She saw me performing a poem and said, "Hey, do you want to be in this play?" So I'm like, "I'm not an actor. I'm just a poet."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Do you want to be in this play?" I'm like, I appreciate the invite, but I'm not an actor. She's like, "You gonna be in this play?" I was like, "I am." So I remember, going to the rehearsals, and
Mm-hmm.
when it happened, it wasn't too far of a stretch for me being who I am,
Mm-hmm.
but I fell in love with the process.
Mm.
Fell in love with the process.
Mm. Mm. So,
And
yeah, that's what it was. Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's
And
dope.
first, yeah, I don't think acting is easy by no stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But what I what I was interested in learning is, how are people able to just be another person,
Mm.
whether it's on TV? How do they do that? And it was told to me like, hey, it's not that much. It's different, but there's a parallel between somebody that's acting and you performing on the stage. You still
Mm.
performing, it, but like you being somebody else. Like I
Mm.
got a poem, actually, a woman abuser, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to perform it in that.
In that manner,
So,
right?
so from then it started, man. I mean, it's cliche, but I caught the bug, man.
Wow.
But it's the process. Yeah,
Wow. So that's your
yeah.
first. So let's talk about your first time on stage, right? And um, were you? Have you ever been that nervous? If you were,
With in the acting realm.
yeah, your first time you got on stage, your first time you got the script, and the first time you was went up in front of cameras.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
it didn't it didn't change because the if anything the stakes were higher
Yeah.
because when poetry is just me. I'm responsible. It's just me. But
Yeah.
then you got to you have you castmates.
Yeah.
It's a group of people trying to achieve the same goal, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be the one to mess up. I want to do my part. So I was nervous in that regard because I don't want to be the one that mess up everything. So that
Mm.
was where my nerve came from.
So
Yeah.
what was your first role? What did you play?
I was the lady in purple, her love interest, and for Color Girls,
Mm.
I was her love interest. And it wasn't like you know a bunch of scenes, but it was one of those scenes where people actually remembered,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to do a poem.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I got to do a poem. So it was some lines in between.
Mm-hmm.
So in between that, I was still able to kind of eat and do a poem. So it kind of helped me. I was like,
Mm.
okay,
So I can only
yeah.
imagine after that you were like, oh yeah, I definitely got to do some more of this. And they were coming in. Um, so your second one, which one was that one? Do you remember that one?
Oh man, I believe it was. it was another play,
Oh,
and
okay.
my memory
So what
is
was your first? So what was your first movie?
my first movie role. My first lead role
Hmm.
was Men Pray Two.
Okay. Yep.
That was my first movie role. Like I had did other theater productions. I did The Shell of a Man.
Hmm.
That was unscripted. When my first movie role was lead role was Men Pray Two.
Okay.
That was an experience.
An experience.
Yeah,
Talk
that
about
was
that.
definitely.
Talk about that experience and how was that in working with the cast and everything.
First of all, the cast was great. I think I know I was I had like imposter syndrome
Mm.
because I didn't question myself the entire time because we had did the play already.
Hmm.
We did the play, and people, they enjoyed the play. But then when the movie came, the script was twice as long, and I had more dialogue. So I was
Mm.
like, "Am I gonna really be able to do it?" And I questioned myself
Wow.
almost the entire time.
Wow.
But shout out to Sister J. She great director, and Coach West. He
Hmm.
was very instrumental in keeping me in the pocket and giving me these notes.
Hmm.
Hey, give this scene what this needs.
Hmm.
What does he need in this scene? So instead of me thinking about everything, I was able to compartmentalize and focus on what was needed in this scene, and it really helped.
Mm.
But when it was over, I was like, okay. Uh, it gave me the confidence to say, okay, you can actually do this.
Hmm.
How do you get better at it?
Mm.
How do you get better?
And
So
how did you get better? What practices did you put in place for you to get better at it?
well, I took some classes
Okay.
and I did a lot of reading. I actually had people who, saw, something in me and would give me game. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? My wife is an actress for 20 years, and she giving me game and reading and learning, just figuring out different ways of how I can get better.
Hmm.
And then, the more you do things, you get better at it. So I try to do as much of it, as I can.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to touch on too. I'm glad you reminded me. Your wife. Yeah, last year I was off. I got off of social media for some time. Um, because I was like, I got to get off and focus on me. And I got back on. When I got back on, Mr. Outley is married. So I was like, yo, I said, yo, that is what's up. That is, I was like, yo, dude, I didn't even know you. Like, I didn't even know, and I was like, I stressed the fact of about privacy and how important privacy is. Not necessarily hiding, but privacy is power, and I didn't even know, and just like a lot of people didn't even know, and that is amazing. And I want you to talk about like the importance of like just being private and not everyone have to know everything, every little move you're doing.
J, JP, I'm going to give you a little context. It was a lot of people that were shocked. Let me tell you something. I have been single for so long. People were shocked I was even in a relationship because I
Yes.
have been single for some years. People were
Yeah.
even shocked to see that. But she didn't even. I think we was almost 6 months in before she was really telling her friends and parents.
I hear
Like
that.
she didn't post me. It wasn't that. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because we knew.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
everybody don't want to see you high because
Come on
so
now. Come
we
on
did
now.
we just go lay this foundation.
Hmm.
We never kept it private. We wasn't hiding each other, but you had to do that. So when I did pop out and get married, people was like, hold on, what? Listen, getting a relationship was one thing.
Yeah. Right. Getting married.
Man, listen,
Yo, I say,
I'm actually writing a poem about that, but we can get to that later. But it
oh
was,
man.
man, look,
Come on now.
and I remember her saying to me, she was like, somebody is really cussing you out right now. You was you was being you was being drugged in somebody's group chat, and I was like,
I typed the text to a girl I used to see. That's
"Hey,
Yo, that is real,
that
son. When
and
I saw that,
that was the song."
that was a song
Listen,
because I know, man, and I know, and I know because we men, and I'm a man, and I knew that once I saw it, I said, "Oh snap!" You know, his brother is married. There was a knowing. Like at some point, you knew, okay, boom, 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 this is what it is, and it be like the people that don't want to see you really happy. It be the ones closest to you, and I tell people that it ain't just people you don't know. It ain't just people that you just having issues with in the past or whatever. Sometimes it be those closest to you you don't even know. That's why it's important to just remain private and come out when you come out. That is it. That is it. And that's exactly what you did. And brother, I'm here to tell you, man, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you, man. You ain't let nothing get in the way. You laid that foundation like you did and you said, and I'm sure that y'all are all right now. I'm not y'all are I'm sure that because of that decision, because of you decided to be private in the very beginning, up until that point, best decision you probably ever made was to
hey,
remain private.
man, man, listen here. Look, we both had been married before. We been in relationships, so we kind of know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling her I I told her so much about myself and my past
Mm-hmm.
to where couldn't a woman come in her inbox and say,
Mm.
"Well, you I mean, but you have to do that. Them
Yeah.
first little 5 6 months,
Yeah.
you getting a representative. So like, how honest you really trying to be?
Yeah.
So I was in my mind I said I'm gonna give it X amount of months. So we don't get to where we need to get to. Is at least you know how you get to a point in dating and you have to decide, okay, are we going to continue? Is it going to
Yeah.
go further? Meaning,
Yes.
we're going to be just you and I.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if it gets past that point, okay, let's rock and roll because I did something, and I'm gonna say this publicly. I did something that I had never done before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say this in a way, and I know you're gonna understand this.
Okay.
I didn't have no backup plan.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever I'm doing, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move
Yeah.
away from everything I was doing and try to put all my eggs in one basket. So
Yes.
either it's gonna work
Yeah.
or not, and I'll just be starting over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah. That
Fortunately,
is definitely real, bro. I was just about to say that like, because it came to a point where, what I mean, especially for us men, where it's like, okay, all right, she the one. I choose her. All right, I'm not going to play with this anymore. Not that I was anyways, but I'm sure of it now. It is a point where it's like I am sure that this is it. Now I'm gonna have to tell her some things because I want to be open and honest about whatever needed. So she won't. It will. There's no surprises, like you said. There's no surprises. I'm gonna tell her some things or whatever because I know this is it. And that's part of the foundation. You know what I mean? Because you got to build that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That is because you don't
yeah.
want no surprises later on. You know, and the fact that you said that, the fact that you did that, you know what I mean? You laid the foundation, and you've started this thing open and honest. Some people still getting their representatives 3 4 years in their marriage. That's crazy. That ooh.
I mean, and don't get it twisted. It wasn't an easy thing
No, no, it's never
because
easy.
it was a level of vulnerability that needed to be shown in order for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
especially on both ends.
Yeah.
Especially on my end because as
Yeah.
men,
Yeah.
you like, hey, well, this don't work. Hey,
Yeah.
I I had to focus,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way it would go work is if I put all my energy into her.
That's
So
right.
whether it was say having some very uncomfortable conversations that
That's
needed to
right.
be had,
That's right.
you know, uh, but it helped. Now, and don't get it twisted. She crazy than she.
Yeah. Hey, the majority of them women crazy, bro.
But I know for a fact.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. No matter what happens, I know she got me.
No doubt.
I know she got me.
No doubt.
I'm like they say in sickness and in health.
Yeah. Yeah, for men, there's a knowing, you know what I mean? There's a knowing. And I think it's important for us men to understand that, like, when you choose her, to go all in. Just to go all in. All in. That's it. You know what I mean? Go all in. And I think today, a lot of there's too much fear in commitment. It's like, I see it all the time where they're not afraid of anything else but love. I don't understand how you are not afraid of, I don't know, other stuff. People ain't afraid to die. People just do crazy stuff, reckless stuff, but they're so scared of love. It's just crazy to me. Just go in. You know what I mean? Love who loves you. Love on them. And if it don't work, it don't work. But what happens is the love, like if it don't work, it shatters them. And that's the fear of it.
I don't. I mean, I think for a lot of men, it's not that easy for us because we don't. The way we deal with hurt is different than how women deal with hurt. Like a woman, she can get hurt by a man,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she will still have the ability to give the next man after she's healed the benefit of the doubt and get him a clean slate
Mm.
until shows her otherwise. Whereas men, we are carry this weight because we don't quickly heal.
Right.
So we go treat this one like that. We go treat this one like that. We're not gonna necessarily treat them bad, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna get all of me.
Right.
I'll give you enough pieces of me
Yeah.
because we still haven't healed,
Yeah.
and that's where that comes from. Fear
Mm.
comes from really not healing,
Yeah.
and not even of being scared to love, but being afraid to allow themselves to be
To
loved.
be
Because
loved.
that was me. Yeah, I was
Wow.
like, oh, I could. I just, I said there was a time where I didn't know if I was able to give 100% of myself to a woman,
Mm-hmm.
to give her exactly what wanted or needed from me.
Mm-hmm. I was
And
gonna ask you that.
I
I'm sorry. I was
couldn't.
gonna ask you that. What before at the beginning stages when y'all met, and you going. Was there a point where it's like, okay, um, uh, that point where you chose, or you says, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna give myself my 100% to the situation. That point, that moment, how was that? Was it fear? Was it, did you know? You said, you know what? I don't care about the fear. I'm gonna go. That moment where you decided to this is it.
Just to provide a little context, we had met during she was being interviewed, right, for a
Mm-hmm.
movie, and I was one of the people interviewing her, and she was flirting with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was flirting with me, and I didn't respond. I kind of played her off. I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Reason is, I knew I couldn't. Some women you just know, like you can't play with her. So we didn't
Yeah.
say anything. We became connected on Facebook, and for a year, I just watched her.
Mm.
We never had any communication. We didn't like nothing. She didn't like my stuff. She didn't comment. We just watched each other for a whole year. So during that time, I was doing some growing myself, and I had got to that point. It's like, you know what? I think I want something. So the day I came in her inbox and said what I said,
Mm-hmm.
that was the day I said, if she respond,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shut it down.
Wow.
I said I'm gonna shut everything down.
Wow.
So she left me on red for about a month, but
Wha- she left you around for a
but
month.
once we started talking, yeah, man, like I was like, all
Oh
right,
wow.
because I know how I when I
Mm-hmm.
first met her. So, but when she did respond, it was on ever since.
Mm.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
dope, man. That is
it was
dope,
on.
man. That is dope. So when you said, you know what, during that growth period is where you said,
Mhm.
I think it's time for me to, I want to settle down and get one. I want to marry. I want a successful marriage. I want to go after marriage now. So was it within that year?
June 28th, 2019 is when I knew I was like, I think I'm in that space where I will want to entertain getting a relationship. That
Okay.
was the day that I said I knew I was in that headspace, but
Mm.
I still needed to do some growing.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I knew it, the pandemic came. So I'm by myself in the house. So I had even more time, to figure out and
Mm-hmm.
decide what I really
Yeah.
wanted and take necessary steps to work on me. I did therapy and just
Mm-hmm.
I did the work.
Yeah.
And you know, once I got me together,
Yeah.
I guess be together enough. I'm like, all right, let me. But the one thing I knew, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you this,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I knew, it had to be a woman who didn't know me.
Mm.
Like I literally, if I'm gonna do this, I want to start over.
Yeah.
I want to start from the ground floor. I want to like go through that process of getting to know somebody, because it wouldn't have been fair to try to do that with someone who already knew
Already
me.
know. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been easy. It would have been
Right.
convenient,
Right.
and I didn't want to be inconvenient.
Right.
So I
Right.
want to start from ground floor. So that's why, and I used to always say, I told my man, I said, listen, if you see me pop out, it's gonna be with somebody that you don't know. And when he saw me, that's the first thing he said to me. Nope, you don't know her.
That is amazing, man. True love story, man. I like again.
Man,
I'm so happy for you, brother. You know what I mean? Because I know, you know,
pray for me.
that's right.
Pray for me. She petty.
I, I'm a,
Pray for me.
I know what it takes to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you took the time to develop yourself and get yourself ready enough to say I am totally responsible for this woman and whoever and anything that comes with her. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot to get to that point. And it's you weren't afraid. You know what I mean? You took on. You know what I mean? Her family. She got a couple. Some kids. Correct.
We
Mm-hmm.
have an 18, 11-year-old.
There you go. You know what I'm
And 20,
saying? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So for a man, when a man gets to that point, it's the understanding of I am responsible for these people. This is my wife. Those are hers, which makes them mine, and I am
yeah.
responsible for this. It takes so much for us to get to that point,
hmm
and you
You
weren't
know how
afraid.
many you know how many times dude asked me, he was like, dog, it was just you.
Yeah,
Like your son is grown. He's 25. He's
yeah,
like, dog, it's just you went from being by yourself
yeah,
and now you got three other people. Like,
yeah,
what made you like trying to really like I guess kind of get into my brain? Like, how did you even get to that point, especially the way he knew me? Because
yeah,
I was singing for a long
yeah.
and I knew how to be and I did it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have fun.
Yeah.
That's what he understands. He's like, how you go from that to that? And I told him what I tell guys, anybody else that'll tell me. At some point, we evolve and we grow.
Mm,
Nothing stays the same.
that's right.
If you had the same thought process you did 4 or 5 years ago, there's something wrong with you.
Absolutely.
And people don't want to. So I made a decision to grow, and I didn't care what anybody had to say to me, because guess what? they're not gonna say it to me.
That's right.
They gonna talk to themselves,
That's right.
and they ain't about to whoop my ass. So
Not with your big 6, 7 foot, big tall bald head, stocky
man,
dude. Nah, leave him alone, y'all.
man, listen, I don't want no smoke with nobody.
Yeah.
But that's the thing when a man makes his decision and when he knows,
Yeah. Yeah.
we get like
Absolutely.
when you want to talk alert podcast. You like it's
Absolutely.
time. I'm about to do it. You won't go let
Absolutely.
that stop you. And
Absolutely.
you see where we are. Be
Absolutely, man.
be clear, ladies
That's right. That's right. Be very, very clear. And one more thing, I want to ask you, on the
yeah.
relationship aspect, like how important is relationship? How important is having a significant other? Not only to you but to a man. You know what I mean? Because I know that's like you said, you've been single for a very long time. Like you was doing quite well. Alone doing your thing for a very long time. You know, but when you decided to take on marriage, what did that do for you?
One of the things that marriage has done for me was a renewed sense of purpose.
Hmm.
As men, we were uh, put here for certain things. Now, I don't believe in gender roles,
Hmm.
but I do believe there are certain aspects of men. Like there are things that we are just supposed to do. We are built and
Definitely.
made to do certain things.
Hmm.
And it gave me a sense of purpose, uh, focus. I can say honestly, and I think she would agree, we've enhanced each other's lives.
Hmm.
But as far as a man's concerned, I tell any dude, a woman will either make you focus or she will take your focus.
Come on now. Come on.
And that's what is done for me. Like nothing is without its challenges.
Hmm.
But I'm healthier.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, bought this stuff for me to cleanse my face,
Yeah.
my skin is
Yeah.
all better. Not that I have bad skin,
Yeah.
it's those
Yeah.
little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's you know, everybody talk about men supposed to provide and protect, and I get all that.
Hmm.
That's what we gonna do. But outside of that,
Yeah.
it's the focus, the encouragement, and she gonna give it to me straight. If I'm out of pocket, she'll check me, and
Yeah.
she has on
Yeah.
many occasions. You want that accountability partner. She ain't
No
playing no
doubt.
games. She ain't no punk at all.
Yeah.
But
That is what's
we
up.
need that. Like
Yeah.
men, we will we will run amok.
Hmm.
We will run amok. But the right woman will be like, all right, here's what you're not about to do.
Yeah.
And you like, I
Yep.
guess I ain't gonna do it then. So that's what it's been, for me. And I have two more sons, and
Hmm.
you know, because my father, I raised by a single mother,
Hmm.
so I'm being to them what I needed
Mm.
growing up. So it's every challenges, but
Yeah.
somebody said it on the internet the other day, but you can't believe it on the internet that they said being a parent is a thankless job,
Mm.
especially being a father.
Come on.
And I was like, I didn't really know what to say about that. I
That.
can't say that I agree, but
Hmm.
I understand
Hmm.
behind it. So
I
yeah,
think. I think that I could kind of understand. I definitely understand the statement. Um, because there is so much expected of men, right? That this like things are expected to be automatic. So it's like, okay, well, that's what he's supposed to do. All right, whatever. But you know, it'll be great to get to hear a thank you. I appreciate you. What I mean? Thank you so much. Without, it'd be good to hear those things. Like you was like a mother would get. What I mean? Or auntie would get. What I mean? But a father, because it's so everything is a lot of things are so expected of us. We don't get to thank you. So it's kind of like a thankless. I understand the statement, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I can't let that deter me from being a father or being a man. You know what I mean? Because I'm here and I'm responsible for some people, and I can't, because I don't feel appreciated, stop me from being responsible. You know what I mean? I have to still be
Right.
responsible. So,
And, but but to your point, anytime a man is not feeling appreciated, that's something he needs to voice.
oh, most
You know,
definitely.
sometimes sometimes we don't communicate effectively,
Yes.
and the woman may not know. You know, with children is different because they show it in different ways. I think
Mm-hmm.
children, once they get older, as we did, we have a great appreciation for our parents the older we got.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes from your significant other, is one of those things where it has to be communicated. And if you're fortunate enough,
Yeah.
you will be with somebody, you will have a partner who is appreciative and shows that gratitude by saying, "Hey, you know what? I appreciate what you did." It could
Yeah.
be the smallest
No
thing,
doubt.
because I think as men, that's I think the two things that I'm gonna safely make a feeble attempt to speak for all men.
Okay.
There's two things that we're always gonna want from our partner. We want respect
Mm-hmm.
and appreciation.
Come on now.
Because once if either one of those two things are not existent,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a problem.
Most
It's
definitely.
gonna be a problem. Especially if it's been communicated, especially when it's been communicated, hey, I don't feel respected, I don't feel appreciated.
Yeah. I agree 1,000,000%. Respect and appreciation. Respect, definitely. First, like, if I'm not getting respect, if I'm not feel respected, that is a major issue. You know what I mean? Please appreciate what I'm doing, especially if I'm nothing like your past. I'm nothing like you've ever dealt with. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I know my
Mm,
capabilities. I'm not giving you any issues, no drama. I'm a huge asset. Please appreciate me. Please respect me, because somebody else will. Please believe that. Thank you very much.
be clear.
Be very clear on
Podcast. Tune in. See what I did there? Hey, listen, listen.
oh, snap. That is the fact.
But we have to, you know, give what we expect.
That's right. That's right. You know what I
We
mean?
have to do this.
That's right. We got to
If
we
I
create the space. You know what I mean? They make the atmosphere turn, man. We got to make sure we have to create the atmosphere. We create that so that you can feel, make her, or influence her to say, "Damn, I got a good one. Like this I ain't never had to do like you, man. I really appreciate you." You got to lay that out.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and when you have those moments where everybody is not on the same page, a lot of people too busy doing this.
Mm.
Everybody want to point the finger. So if you let the internet tell it, black men and black women, we so much at odds.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to be with nobody and all of this. And I'm like, please do not let the internet fool you. There are men, there
Yep.
are women who will take accountability for themselves, who
That's
will
right.
say, I apologize, I'm wrong. They do
Mm-hmm.
want to effectively, communicate
Communicate.
and have a healthy relationship. And listen, we ain't in our 20s. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if you still, you in your 40s and up and you still doing this,
Mm-hmm.
talking about what somebody did, you might look in the mirror because you chose them. You need
Come
to
on
figure
now.
out what's up with you. You keep bad decisions. Please be clear. I just like saying that. That's one of those things where you say something, you can like be clear.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about?
That's right. Be very
Yeah,
clear,
man.
man. That's what we here for, man. We gotta be clear, man. You know what I mean? What you said was right, man. Right on the money, man. And I'm glad, brother. I'm glad, man, that you made the correct choice, the correct decision to to have one, man. Settle down and get one, man. 'Cause I stress the fact that every man needs a wife, man. Relationship is very, very important. As men, we could do very, very well. We could do well alone. I ain't saying you ain't. We can do very well. We can have our own.
And the women,
But boy, when you find you a wife, man, she will multiply that. Whatever you got going on, multiply that. And I know because I've seen it. Because I grew up with my parents, so I understand the dynamic. I know the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It's like a wife is so important to men. It's a significant other is so important. If you never get married, fine, okay, fine. But don't think that the significance of a significant other. Don't like that is highly important for men. I can't speak for women. I'm not a woman. I'm talking about for men. Get you a wife. get you a wife.
you know,
Stop playing.
my pops told me something some years ago that I didn't grasp when he first said it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Son, it'd be nice to have somebody bring you a glass of water."
Mm.
And it didn't register at the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't
Mm-hmm.
register. I am enjoying life at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I can give me some water. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But years later, I can say that I understand what he means.
Come on.
Because that was a metaphor. That was something of a it wasn't about the water. It was a
Right.
much larger meaning.
Yes.
And I get that. And I
Mm-hmm.
get that. And I looked at it as settling down. To me, it's like you leveling up.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
I heard the man said, this dude said, he said, I would have not reached my
Mm-hmm.
full potential had I not met my wife.
I
I've
always
heard
say that.
several dudes. I've seen several dudes who are relatively successful in whatever in
Mm-hmm.
their job in life, and they said it wasn't until they made the decision to say, okay, her,
Yep.
and do what they supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nothing is perfect.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he made it's like, hey, listen, they say a woman can take a potato and make and do wonders with it. You hear me? So
That's right. I agree, man. I
I
agree.
listen. Could you live your life the rest of your life by yourself and be good?
Nah. Mm-mm. I solely agree. I always say a man would never reach his fullest potential without a wife. I wholeheartedly believe that. Yes.
So he can't have a girlfriend or have a partner and be in a relationship and still reach that potential?
No,
He has
that's
to be married?
no. He ain't got to be married, but he has to. I'm talking about the significance of a woman in a man's life. That's what it is. You ain't
Okay.
got to tie the knot.
I get that.
You know what I mean? But don't think that
Yeah.
you a man and you just going to be just willy nilly for the rest of your. You're not going to reach your fullest potential without that one. I agree with that.
And it can't be your mama.
And it can't be your mama. Fellas, it can't be your mama.
It can't be your mama.
It can't be your mama. Come on now, y'all. Come on now,
Mama
y'all.
got
Mama, listen.
well,
Yo, listen.
mama got to have a life.
Mama got to have a life, and it's different if mama bringing you a glass of water versus the love of your life, your wife bringing you a glass of. It's a whole difference.
Man, look, it's a problem if mama bring you a glass of water.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Hey,
Yo, for a
I
woman to go out of her way to do something just like I gotta say, you upstairs, your bedroom upstairs and your kitchen downstairs. So she gotta go all the way downstairs, to get you something to drink, bring it all the way back upstairs. Just to do that small, that is so much for a man. You know what I mean? Babe, let me get you a glass of water. And just that, man, that water turned into a real serious night.
especially if you're in a position where you can't even go up and get the water yourself.
Come on, man. Come on now. Exactly. Exactly.
Man,
Man, listen, we can go
I was
on and
about to
on
say,
about
drop
this.
my food. Yeah, man.
Oh man. So listen, real quick. Uh for someone who is like entering the scene, maybe a poet. So let's talk about the poetry. Like for someone, up and coming artist who's I don't know, trying to do their thing or whatever. And well, first let me ask you this: how do you feel about the poetry scene today?
I think the poetry scene in Atlanta is huge.
Hmm.
It's so many venues. It's so many great poets. Listen, you could probably find an open mic, multiple open mics every week of the month in Atlanta, and it's some great ones. So I think the poetry scene is alive and well, and is prospering. As with everything else,
Hmm.
you know, it has it has it's always some bullshit in the game. I'm
Yeah,
gonna just say that.
yeah, yeah,
It's always some bullshit in the game, but just the scene in itself, I think is great.
yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Any advice for your 19-year-old self?
Wow. Ooh. All right. Three things I would tell my 19-year-old self.
Hmm.
Number one, do not smoke marijuana.
Okay.
Number two, move with logic instead of emotion.
Mm,
And number three, know who you are.
mm, mm.
So if I could tell my 19-year-old self those three things, that's what I would say.
That's what's up, man. That is what's up, man.
Yeah,
I think it's also important,
yeah,
man, to love on that 19-year-old too, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes,
yeah,
depending on how you were brought up, it's not good to ignore that kid. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And man, man, those are three. Those are
I-
three dope topics. Three dope ideas. Definitely, I would tell my 19-year-old self the same too. And what I mean, don't say to yourself, don't be willy nilly around here either, man. Don't do that. That's one thing I tell my 19-year-old self. You know what I mean?
because all three of those things led to me making some of my worst decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
Those those
Hmm.
three aspects of my life played a huge part of me making some of the worst decisions. Now, fortunately, over time, I was able to, overcome those
Yeah, yeah.
poor choices. But I know what was the catalyst for those bad decisions. I was getting high. I was very emotional. I was angry. I didn't think, and I didn't know who I was. Like we would go out and do some stupid stuff, but then I'd go home and write a poem.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I like to read, so we at the mall stealing, but then I'm trying to read a dictionary to find some new words to say. You know what
mm.
I'm saying? So
Wow.
I didn't really know who I was at that
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah.
When did you move to Atlanta?
I got to Atlanta June 3rd, 2008.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dope, man. Any what is the number one thing you feel men need to do today, just in regards to just being a man?
Being accountable.
Mm,
I believe we have to be accountable for ourselves
mm-hmm.
and hold each other accountable.
No doubt.
If I'm out of pocket, check me. You
No
know what I'm
doubt.
saying? Don't
Yeah.
go behind my and
Talk
tell
about me.
somebody else
Yeah.
some stupid stuff I'm doing. Be like, yo, hey, you ain't moving right.
Right.
And I've had guys over the years be like, yo, you ain't moving right, and I still had the utmost respect for those guys because they may not have known me like that. They
Mm-hmm.
knew me enough to where they can come to me and go, "Hey, come here. You ain't right for that. You need to slow
But
down." So I
yeah,
think that would be the one thing. Let's just be accountable for ourselves and each other as men.
that's what's up. Any advice for the up and coming spoken word artists?
I, wow. Because I was about to say I don't feel like I'm in a position to give anybody advice, but I will say know your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare yourself to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like the homie told me, only you can do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't got to compare yourself to anybody.
Period.
And work on your craft. If you can get them 10,000 hours in,
Yeah.
practice in front of that mirror. When you write that poem, and you like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And you rehearsing it, you trying to memorize it. You practice it in the mirror the same way you would if you was on the stage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
That
dope,
would
man.
be a little, yeah.
Well, what you got? What you got? Anything? Everything you working on right now? Anything you got coming up?
It just so happens, me and my man E, shout out to E. Um, we are preparing Word Spoke with Mr. Ollie Volume 2.
Oh
I guess you could say
wow.
we in a pre-production. So, we got some tracks. Man, I woke up this morning, he sent me a track. I was writing to it earlier today, so we're working on volume 2.
Oh,
Word
that's
Spoken by
dope.
Mr. Ollie Volume 2. Uh, yeah, so
That's
it's gonna
dope.
be we've listened to the first and figured out ways we want to make it. I want to show the growth. We want to show the growth in me as an artist. We want
Mm-hmm.
to, document it with some photos, the process. Me
Mm-hmm.
being in the studio, like we want to. It's literally we try. The goal is to do it as if we on some major label. We got this record coming out, and we document it. We doing it the whole
Okay.
way.
Oh,
And
okay.
with that, um,
When you looking to
yeah.
drop that?
So and that's the thing. I I told him the other day. I said it took me over 40 years to do the first one.
I hear that.
I'm not in a rush to do
I
it.
hear that.
So I wanted to be right. I got my pieces already.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, create new stuff all the time. So that will be coming. I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's gonna come out in 24. Who
Right.
knows? We may be here talking on June 3rd in 25, and it might. But we
Yeah.
want it to happen organically.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Yeah.
confident. It's gonna. The one thing I will say, people will see the growth.
Mm-hmm.
In the sound and the content. I'm proud of that. I'll be on set, part of this movie. That I believe it's already started filming. I'm
Okay.
gonna get the name of it out. I'm playing a doctor.
Oh wow.
So uh, we probably filming that this month.
Oh okay. Oh,
So
I can't wait for that.
yeah,
That's what's up, man. Doctor Owley,
yeah.
or
I
Doctor
mean,
whatever your name is in the movie.
yeah. So I mean, I audition all the time. Um, I was fortunate enough to sign with an agent last year.
Okay.
So I get auditions. It's just and then trying to just get better.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's gonna be uh,
Yeah.
more opportunities. I'm looking forward to getting on the stage more. So if anybody's trying to book me, www.what'sthewhatupthough.com. It's
Yeah.
how it's spelled. Just put Mister in. You go to the website, check out things that I've done already. So more film,
Yeah.
more performing. I'm trying to use every gift that God has given me,
That's what's up.
and
Yeah.
it's good.
Oh,
I'm trying to get it in 24.
yeah. That's what's up, man. Yeah. I was gonna say, man. Let the people know where they can find you at, man. How they can book you and everything, bro.
Yeah, MrWhatUpThough.com. Mr. MR. The way you see it spelled on this shirt.
Yes.
MrWhatUpThough.com. Harold Outley. Harold, HAROLD, OUTLEY on all social media platforms. If you want to book me for your baby shower, your wedding, whatever event that you have going on. I am talented enough and have content to move in front of any type of crowd. Yeah,
This is,
that's what
man,
it is.
that's what it is, man. Mr. Outley, aka Mr. What Up, Though, man. I appreciate you being on tonight with us. And I need everybody who was tuned
For sure.
in to be very, very clear that this legend,
Be
Derry
clear.
King, that's right. This legendary king here, man, is doing extraordinary things, and continue to look out for this brother. Make sure you follow him everywhere and support this king. He's doing things. He's a dope artist. His art is dope. His poetry is dope. Album is dope. I can't wait for the second volume to drop because the first one was crazy. And I can't wait to see more videos on that
Yeah,
album. That's what I want to be seeing, bro. That gonna be crazy
yeah.
because I can't wait. I can't wait. I know you got some things in store. I know you're gonna be working on some things, and I'm glad that you taking your time. With this. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't rush our art, man. We can't rush this thing. It got to be dope. If you're gonna put it out, we're gonna put
I'm
it
not.
out with some meaning.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that,
We
man.
gonna do it right. I would encourage everybody, if you haven't heard Volume One, Words
Yes.
Spoken by Mr. Outley,
Mm-hmm.
which is also my spoken word page on Facebook. Words Spoken by Mr. Outley, Volume One. Wherever you stream your music, if you type in my name, Mr. Outley, you will find me easily. I
Mm.
would love for people to hear the first one, so when they hear the second one,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be able to hear the growth.
Right.
So if you want to download it, stream it, whatever you want to do, tag me. Listen, get at me.
That's what's up, man.
We are now booked
That's what's up,
24.
man. That is what's up, man. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you being on, man. Once again, y'all go follow this
I
king
appreciate
here.
that.
No doubt, man. Thank you so much, man. Yo, make sure y'all go ahead and follow that brother there, man. Stop playing. Um, he is doing major things, major things. Mr. Outley, like you said, type his name in, or everything will come up. It'll come up, man. So make sure you're doing a thing. And one thing I do want you to do is make sure you're following this podcast. Be Clear Alert podcast everywhere except Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I am on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and podcast is on Spotify, iHeart, um, Apple, and Google Play. So make sure you tune in, tap in, follow, and keep it locked for the next show. Thank y'all so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Oh, one more thing. If you're into that boom bap hip hop as I am, I love boom bap hip hop. I am on the Raw 808 Underground Radio. Download the app. All the information is going to be there. If you follow me, you'll get all the information. My show airs 9 o'clock every Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boom bap hip hop, me doing my thing. So make sure you tap in, tune in, follow me at Be Clear Alert Podcast, and you get all the information, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I'll see y'all on the next one, y'all. Peace.